listening. Hey, I'm Tom Remington. Welcome to an episode of Open Air with Tom Remington. I hope you're enjoying your day. I know I am. I do every day that I'm here. Hey, did you happen to catch any of those nut jobs that were talking at the CPAC convention? You know, CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. Yeah, I mean they're so crazy. I mean they're like so conservative, and they're so, oh God, right wing. You know, it's absolutely disgusting to listen to these people, and I mean they're just so radical. I mean, everything bad that happens in this country is all their fault. It's all the fault of the conservatives. But anyway, I didn't catch it live at the time, but I did watch the keynote address by Glenn Beck. You know, Glenn, he's the worst of those guys. You know, I mean, this guy is so friggin', whacked out. I mean, he's so far right. He's so, he's such a nut job. I mean, he talks about things like, oh God, if we don't stop spending money we don't have, we're going to get in trouble. Oh yeah, I mean, can you imagine anybody thinking that way? And he also talks about this thing called the Constitution. Yeah, like that's important to anybody. I mean, it's just, that thing that's over 200 years old. Who cares? You know, it's just a bunch of writing by a bunch of stupid old men from years ago. That, what do they know? You know, progressive. That's what we got to be, progressive. You know, how's that progressivism working out anyway? Well, but to some people it's absolutely wonderful. But anyway, that Glenn Beck, I mean, the things that guy come out and said, and I remember a couple of things that sort of struck a note with me that he said in there that I wanted to mention. Was one of them being his statement saying that, actually, I guess he was addressing the Republican Party at the time that he said it, and he said that, you know, it wasn't good enough anymore to suck less than the other side sucks, you know, and I got laughing about that because it's true, but it's a reflection of the society that we've become. And he went on further and talked in that about saying that he made a statement, and I'm going to paraphrase because I'm not going to quote him exactly because I'll probably mess it up anyway. But I'll paraphrase it, and what he said basically is, why do we offer a championship trophy if everybody's going to get one? And then he made some sick joke about, what do you think this is, the Nobel Prize or whatever? Excuse me. And you know, and I got reflecting on it and thinking back. This goes back several years now, when I was very involved in my community in Maine, and doing a lot with young people and coaching and Little League baseball and all of that stuff, and dealing with the parents and the school departments and the education system. And that was the focus of everything, was coming to the point of we became so obsessed with this thing we called self-esteem, you know, and we didn't understand about self-esteem, that we just thought that if we talked about self-esteem, we could get our kids to have self-esteem. Oh, hey, you're good. self-esteem. And you watch American Idol, I mean, those guys, when they come on there and they try out, yes, there's a whole bunch of people that go on there, it's a big joke, and they're put up by their friends and stuff. But there's a lot of people that show up there, and they're completely devastated when the judges tell them they suck. Because they've gone through their whole life with people propping them up, convincing them they're something that they're not. And that's not fair to anybody. And that's what we've become. We're so afraid that if somebody doesn't get a trophy, that their life will be devastated. You just don't understand. People have to begin to learn what their strengths and weaknesses are to become who they are. But anyway, so this is, kind of the direction that we've gone. And, it's like, we can't give out A's and B's and C's. We'll do pass, fail. You remember those days? And we can't do the, we can't have valedictorians of a class because, what would the person think who's last in his class? Well, he ought to think, geez, I should have got off my butt and worked harder. But, that's not it. We got to give everybody, and so you go to these banquets and stuff after the season of Little League Baseball, right? And everybody's got to get a trophy. Boy, that helps their self-esteem, right? So over time and going through this whole thing, you come down to what Glenn Beck said. It isn't good enough anymore to suck less than the other guy. Whatever happened to, geez, I got to work harder to be just a little bit better than the other guy, not just suck less than he does. So where does that get you? It gets you at the bottom of a big giant sucking machine, from what I can see, and it's remarkable that there has to be incentive, to achieve personal goals and goals as a family, goals as a community, goals as a state, a country, and you work to better yourself, not to bring everybody down to the same level. I had a friend of mine who made a comment to me, this was several years ago, and it stuck with me all of this time. And at the time that he made it, I agree. But the more I thought about it, I thought, how true. And his comment to me was, he says, I've never seen people that strive so hard to achieve mediocrity as we are seeing in our society today. And, and like I said, I said, but, you think about it, and it's absolutely true. Our education system is geared to force everybody into the same class and gear your learning curve to the slowest in the class. And so the brightest ones suffer, and everybody doesn't learn anything the same way as the person who's incapable of learning at a higher rate does. But that's what's called fair. That four-letter word that begins with an F. The one my brother said one day should be stricken from the dictionary, and I agree with him, because by somebody's standards, nothing in life that we do is fair. Fair today is, to evidently to be the highest achiever is sucking less than the guy next to you, and you've achieved what you want to. But anyway, hey, that's my rant for today. And do yourself a favor and go out and achieve something better in your life, and not look around you and make sure that you don't suck as bad as your next door neighbor. All right? Have a good day. See you next time on Open Air with moi.